Welcome back into another edition of the Fourth Man Podcast. We're heading into week 5 of the Big 3 season, coming off the league-wide bye. And we got a special guest with us today on the show. He's about to make his Big 3 debut this weekend in Boston with the Detroit Amplifiers and recently acquired pickup Cameron Beno Smith. Beno, appreciate you taking the time, and congrats on the call-up to the Big 3.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. You kind of like foreshadowed this whole thing. I think we were kind of talking early on before the season started, and I felt like during that conversation, you had an idea that you would play this season, and then you kind of made me have that belief a little bit as well. But before we get into like kind of how you got here, I want to like briefly like kind of give the audience and new listeners or longtime listeners just an idea of like who you are, if they're still like trying to learn who you are, or like if they're not familiar with you, kind of like your path to getting to the Big 3, because I think it's a unique one. I think it's a cool journey to get in here. Starting off like
Yeah.
kind of like where you grew up and where you went to school before you went to CSU's Bakersfield in Mississippi. Just kind of looking at the history of basketball. I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know if you would agree with this, and maybe I just don't know, but I don't know if I would necessarily consider Mississippi a basketball state, but there's definitely some big-time prominent names that have come out of the state. Monte Ellis, Big 3 champion
Yeah, for
himself,
sure.
Al Jefferson, who won it back in 2019.
Hmm.
I'm just interested to know, like, what inspired you to play basketball? Did you have any idols when you were growing up, and ultimately, what got you kind of starting to play basketball in the first place?
Well, first off, I'm from Mississippi, born and raised, Oklahoma to be exact. Population about 1,200 people. I graduated with probably a total of 51 people. I'm not a group. I played basketball since like 6 years old. I've always played basketball. What transpired me? Well, the school I went to before Bakersfield, I went JUCO. I went to junior college in Mississippi. I went to Pearl River. I went there through 2018 through 2020. And through COVID, I ended up at Bakersville. I know a lot of teams brought players back, and COVID was crazy. So I ended up signing with Bakersville, stayed there for 3 years, got my master's degree in my last year. And I ended up going to Asia for a small amount of time. Um, got injured, had foot surgery, and I set out for a year. Um, what was with had a situation with the Milwaukee, the Wisconsin Herd, but I ended up leaving, and they didn't work out. And I was just playing in the Drew League, playing in TBL, played in the one-on-one platform. A lot of people, my name has got out there tremendously because a lot of people peep that I got a lot of game, and I'm still young. So
Mm-hmm.
Donnell Jackson and Jimmy Parker was two advocates that vouched for me in this situation. And I actually talked to George Gervin. He wanted to put me on his team in Australia, Melbourne. He tried to get me on, but he was like, he just gonna wait and sign me this summer, obviously. And sad I didn't get drafted in the draft, but it all worked out.
Yeah, man, crazy path. And I mean, it feels like you've touched every professional avenue possibly out there, outside of maybe a
Yeah,
couple. Um, I feel like even the move from Mississippi to California is a pretty big move. Like even thinking about like for myself, my own journey. Like I tried to go out to California, I couldn't make it past like 1 or 2 months. Now, obviously, I didn't go out there for
yeah.
school, but what ultimately got you to kind of make that move? And do you feel like that move alone, moving out to another part, the other side of the nation, really kind of like it's inspired you that hey, like maybe I can do this basketball thing, not just in college but past college.
Absolutely. I mean, growing up in Mississippi, like you always, I mean, the opportunity is really limited to leave. But when I got the opportunity to leave, it was a no-brainer. Obviously, I was nervous about the situation. I talked to my JUCO coach and I talked to my family about it. And the JUCO coach was like, I mean, shit, it's a no-brainer. Get up out of here. But it was my first time on an airplane at 20 years old. So
Man.
I never knew that. the basketball is going to take me all the way across the country, all the way across the world. I mean, and I really haven't been home since. You know, I don't really go home often because it's beautiful and it's wonderful on the West Coast. I built a family. I got a family out here, like extended family out here. Um, mainly in Los Angeles, but I'm based in Phoenix right now, and I go to LA a lot. LA, Vegas. That's pretty much my triangle. LA, Vegas, and Arizona. So a lot of people on the West Coast familiar with my game. So I'm just happy to take it on the BIG3 stage.
Yeah, for sure. That's I mean, you're. I think it's cool that you're still kind of like repping your hometown too. You're putting on for a lot of people,
Oh yeah,
but like a
yeah,
very I'm sure tight knit community and everything like that. So that's pretty dope. You mentioned it. I mean, you've
yeah,
been to Asia. You played in the G League. You played in the TBL. You played a little bit all over. Now you're about to play in the BIG3. You played in the next chapter. You played on the Ball is Live scene. I mean, you pretty much touched fives, threes, ones, whatever whatever the setup is.
yeah,
You've played in it.
yeah. I am.
What?
I actually didn't. The CNC and the one-on-one scene that happened anonymously. Like I was with Lance in
Mm-hmm.
Vegas. I was with Lance in Vegas, and like five, I thrive. I thrive in fives. I thrive in just playing up and down. Pickup runs and stuff like that. I thrive in that situation. But ones was a new ones was a new avenue I got into. But obviously, as a professional, you adjust. So after my first game, I adjusted, and now I'm here. Now I feel like I'm top five, top 10 in the YouTube space. But obviously the NBA is the ultimate goal. But
Yeah,
whatever I'm gonna be wherever my feet at. If that's what's in front of me right now, then I'm gonna take it and use it to the best of my ability.
yeah. That decorated path, I think that makes that journey that much cooler, that much more memorable. And I'll be real with you, Bino. Like I wasn't like too familiar with your
Yeah,
game. I mean, D Block put me on pretty early. It sounds like you have a pretty good relationship with them, but D Block put me on pretty early. Went back and watched a lot of the TNC games and kind of saw you doing your thing out there and getting a little bit of exposure.
yeah,
But even just like TNC and just even playing in all those different leagues, like going back to your kind of your finalist days, wrapping up getting your masters at Bakersfield. I mean, could you ever envision your pro route looking like this and just after you graduated?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. First of all, I never envisioned getting a master's degree. For one, yet alone staying on the West Coast after I graduated. I thought I was probably gonna go back to Mississippi and try to figure it out because I didn't have the best. My senior year wasn't the best like I thought I would, but I reaped all my benefits of my work after I graduated. I put tremendous numerous of hours in, and during my senior year, I didn't see that I reaped the benefits of the work until I left Bakersville. And I left Bakersville, and I started playing in Drew League, and I started branching out and. It's just, my work started to show. And I
Yeah.
played against some of the best players. I played with Kyrie. He flew me out to New Jersey, flew me to South
Mm.
Dakota and North Dakota. And I was with Kyrie for, pretty much a long time in the summertime during 2023. And I got a lot of niggas from Kyrie and talked to DeMar DeRozan. He gave me a lot of advice and just a lot of NBA players to see the talent and see the hunger that I have. And I just pick back off whatever they tell me to do.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's dope. That's cool. It's not. It seems like that's the way it is, right? Like the basketball community is like for pros at least. It's like a small knit group, and so like a lot of people know you within that group. But it's just like getting your
Yeah.
name out there and getting that exposure. Do you feel like I mean, like with the next chapter, obviously putting on and having a good performance in pretty much every game you played in, was that kind of like? Do you feel like since that moment you've gotten a lot more exposure, or when do you feel like your game started to get recognized a little bit more?
Most definitely. The TNC is a great upcoming platform. Well, it's not even upcoming; it's here now. The TNC it's a great platform, and it put a lot of people that's in the shadows. It give them the spotlight that they deserve. It's a lot of great talent out there on the YouTube platform, and I most definitely think that I got more exposure by playing on the TNC stage, but. I think this deal through the BIG3 was gonna happen because of my relationships and my, relationship that I had throughout just me being in California. I met some great people like Jeremy Pargo. Darnell Jackson, which is D Block. I have some great people that vouch for me, so I think that was big. Just being available and staying
Yeah.
healthy and just being a good person on and off the court.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like, man, I really wanted to see you in the pay-per-view game that was obviously headlined by Beasley and Lance. I thought you were going to get a
Yeah,
chance to run it back with Isote or play somebody in there. I felt like you deserved that
yeah.
opportunity.
I thought I deserved it too, but it's no excuse. No excuses. But that was my first game that I played against Tay. It was my first time playing on that type of one on one. I never envisioned like one on one going to 30 it was gonna be like that. Coming out of halftime is one on one. It's no break. You're not getting a break. So and it's real physical. It's real physical towards the end of the game.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I didn't get a lot of calls, but it's a give and take situation. I just got to finish the game. Don't give it up to the referees. But man, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my whole time. I'm looking forward to playing on TNC again if the opportunity presents itself. But right now, I'm trying to be the best player I can be for the team to win in the championship of the Big Three. I want to maximize this opportunity as much as I can because who knows the next door open from this opportunity.
Man, yeah, you're kind of segueing perfectly into kind of what I've been thinking as well for yourself as you like join a Detroit team that's coming off a loss off a bye in week 5 already. First off, I think the TNC and the way they play, especially down to the final points, playing to a target score, being physical and everything, kind of sets you up. Playing one-on-one for bringing the fire situations kind of sets you up perfectly for this league.
Yeah,
Um, let's start here. You kind of envisioned that you would have an opportunity. You thought you'd have an opportunity because of the relationships you've built and the credibility you've built in the basketball scene. Now you get this opportunity, but where were you when you got the call? What was the conversation like? And what was kind of the I guess, the role they envisioned you playing, kind of filling in for, the big three go here. And it's
some big shoes to
yeah.
fill. Well, first of all, I just want to give a shout out to George Gervin and the Big Three family, everybody's behind it, behind the team and the organization for giving me an opportunity to play, first of all. And I want to thank God just for, all the things I've been through and being able to be available to even play. But what I think I fit at is shooting, scoring the ball, hard nosed defense, rebounding. I can pretty much go out one through the five, one
Mhm.
through the four. I can go out one through the four. But I can shoot the ball at a high clip. So with ISO Joe being out, I think that I can spread the floor for Jaden Parker getting, his ISO situation. And I can be a good person to kick out to. And the ones have prepared me for, close out situations or putting the ball on the floor. I'm real comfortable with putting the ball on the floor and making the play now because I've been playing so much of 3-on-3 and 2-on-2 and one-on-one this past summer. So I feel like that just elevated my game. I've always been able to shoot the ball. I've always been able to catch and shoot. That's always been one of my strong suits. But being able to put on the floor, being a decision maker, I've got better with that this summer. So I feel like with ISO Joe being out, obviously I can't do what ISO Joe do, but I can bring a different dynamic to the team with, my energy on defense, the way I rebound, the way I shoot the ball from the three.
Yeah, yeah, and you'll be, younger legs, fresher legs, I'm sure, getting into
Oh, for
this.
sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll help for sure too. Did the Iceman give you the call? Did Pargo give you the call? What was kind of the call that you got earlier this week or maybe even
So,
last week?
no, so actually, I'm sorry I didn't answer that question. I was actually in practice for the TBT. I was
Mm.
in practice for the TBT, and we had a water break, and I had like 4 missed calls from D Block, and I kind of knew what it was, but he had told me that he had been telling me to just stay ready.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in practice, and I take my phone and I called him back, and he had Coach Iceman on the line, and Iceman said his exact words, "We're gonna go with young fella. We're gonna go with young fella." And he said that shit. I damn near did a
Man, that's
suicide up and
dope.
down the court. I ran up and down the court during practice, and they was trying to figure out what was going on. But I gave them the news, and they was all happy for me. So it was a great opportunity.
Man, yeah, that's got to be an amazing feeling, like everything you work for. Now getting to play on a big stage, playing on CBS, and you've kind of alluded to it. I mean, you're getting a chance. You're coming in at a critical time. Let's put it this way: they're coming off a loss, now sitting at 2-1, still in a really good spot. You're going to be
Hmm.
here for at least the next couple weeks with Joe's injury and then picking you up. That's kind of the rules of the game. You have a real shot to like maximize your opportunity, like you've mentioned, not only to help this Amplifiers team, but to help yourself for maybe this season, maybe even future seasons to come.
Hmm.
Not to make the moment bigger than it is, but what's kind of your approach? Where's your head at, just in terms of like coming in? I know you've mentioned like how you'll fit with this team, but what's your approach and kind of how you want to like make the most of this team, but also make sure that you're helping this Detroit team, come out with a big three the next couple weeks.
Well, my approach is to first of all always stay available, stay healthy. That's number one thing is staying healthy. But number two is just not making a moment bigger than what it is, but just having fun. Like the main thing is I'm at my best when I'm having fun. I'm at my best when I'm out there smiling, when I'm talking, when I'm engaging to the game. I'm talking to the fans or I'm interacting with somebody. That's when I'm at my best. And as long as I'm doing that, I rebound at a high level, I defend at a high level. And offensive game, like the offense, everybody got offense. I think I impact the game on a defensive level, and I like that we got Shakur. He's an amazing defender, and I feel like I can compliment him real well
Mm-hmm.
on the court, especially with us out there. We big guards, big wings. We can we can play great defense. So I really just want to come back. I just really want to come in and impact winning. Impact winning as much way as possible. If I got to sit on the bench and clap and inspire my teammates to win, that's what I do. I'm not sure if I'm the youngest one in the big three, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to pick on me or whatnot. But I'm
Oh
most
yeah.
definitely gonna stand my own ground. I'm from Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Like we bully the bully. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Man, yeah, I think you're a really good fit for this team, and it's a team that just for whatever reason last week or the week before had some challenges finding things offensively in the second half, and I think they could, obviously using another player will help, but like the way you're approaching the game and your skill set, I think is going to help them a lot. And you're going to be
Yeah.
facing, your first welcome to the Big Three is going to be against the Rig Hands team. I mean, most of these guys are comprised of the championship team from last year. They're coming off a couple straight losses. They're a pretty gritty, high energy team.
Hmm.
Have you had a chance to look into like this Houston team, even maybe last year when they were Big Black, and just kind of assess how you might play off or
I
play
mean,
against them offensively and defensively?
yeah, I've done my homework, but I feel like we dictate the game. We got the better team in my opinion, in my eyes. I feel like we got the better team, and as long as we go out there and we execute the way we should, we got Ray, who's an amazing shooter. We got Pargo, who's we all know what Pargo can bring to the table, and then we got D Block holding the paint down in the middle. He's the anchor, and then we got Shakur, who's Dennis Rodman. He can pretty much do it all on the defensive end. So I just feel like we control what we control, and let the chips may fall where they fall. But I'm confident. I'm confident in our group.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. I'm sure, like you said, being a younger guy, being new to the league, you're going to be in some kind of bring the fire situation, 1v1 situation. As we kind of mentioned before, you've kind of already been battle tested, being on a big stage and being in that scene.
Yeah.
Anybody you're looking forward to going against this weekend on this Houston team, and trying to help, whether it's offensively or defensively, they put you in that position. Anybody you're excited to go against if you get that chance?
I mean, I'm always excited to go against any type of competition. I ain't gonna, make nobody bigger than what they really are. I respect all of them. All of them have a great resume. But I'm excited. I want them to bring the fire. Bring the fire, challenge me. I feel like I'm built for whatever. So whoever it is that I get to see, in my eyes, I say my saying is anybody with eyebrows can get it. Anybody with eyebrows can, what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to it.
Man, yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And man, I think the underrated aspect about this league is really just the like you've kind of mentioned, like you've been really good about being able to build relationships and also show your game in front of a lot of these people, and now you even get to do that at like a higher scale. Like to put it in
Yeah.
perspective, like the Hall of Famer Iceman is your coach, and there's Hall of Famers
Yeah.
and
It's crazy.
legends all across the league for coaches, and you're gonna get a chance to like interact with a bunch of different players. Like, I mean, even let me just ask you this: like, what are your thoughts on like George Gervin being your head coach? Sounds like you've already had some pretty good conversations with him leading up to this moment.
like I'm still trying to grasp like all these people that don't just know my name, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in awe. I'm still trying to like just grab like wow, like what I'm saying, I'm being coached by George Gervin. I'm being teammates with, you know, NBA players. I'm being teammates with ISO Joe and I'm actually a teammate with all these guys and I'm sharing the court with all these guys. So I'm just taking it day by day, but I'm most definitely like I'm blessed to be in this opportunity for sure because anybody could have got this opportunity. Like anybody in the world could have got this opportunity, and it's me. So it gives me it compliment me of the work, the job well done that I've been doing. I've been praying a lot, so I feel like I've been on the right path. And now it's just a matter of time and just going out there and doing what I do. One thing about me is I'm gonna have fun. I'm not gonna make the game more bigger than what it is. I got young legs, so go out there and use them. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
Yes, sir. I think you got some pretty good chemistry already. You play with a lot of these guys, or you know a lot of these
Yeah,
guys' game in the league. So I think that's going to be a
yeah,
benefit as well. Not necessarily having to like build that chemistry,
yeah.
after a game or two.
Yeah, I mean, me and Deep Bop been playing with each other going on 3 years now, and
Mm-hmm.
I play with Pargo going on 2 years now. So, and I remember when Pargo first seen me, he was giving me my props just about doing the little things, like just spraying my lane, talking, being anchor on defense, just doing the little things. I think Pargo he complimented me well about just doing that, and I know how to play the game. I've learned the game. I've learned the fundamentals of the game, and I study defense. I study like tendencies of players. So, I think I fit right in.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, it might be growing pains, but I'm here for it.
yeah, for sure. I think too, like another, a factor. I think a lot of people just in the community are like, oh, Houston, two straight losses. Like, no way they come out with another loss. They're maybe underestimating this Detroit team just a little bit, but in the same vein, like you said, this is a pretty solid team. Like I don't even think Pargo has scratched the surface of what he can really do. That
Hmm.
he's shown over the past few years. Hasn't even hit a four ball yet, so I'm sure that's going to be
Yeah,
coming at some point. So you might
I'm
have
most
joined at
definitely
the
shooting
right
one of
time.
those. I'm most definitely shooting one of those this week.
You got to.
Yeah, I gotta test the waters, man.
Yeah,
I
just
gotta
one time.
test the water.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anything you're excited for just like outside of like actually playing in the game this weekend? I mean, you'll be in Boston. Kind of back on the kind of closer back to home, not really, but back on the East Coast here. Anything you're looking forward to just
It's a lot.
about the next couple of
That's
weeks?
There's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. First of all, I'm looking forward to like flying first class. Just that. Just going to Boston. Like it's a big city. We playing in TD Garden. Never played in TD Garden. I get to meet all the former NBA players. Like I get to share the court with these guys, and like I'm excited about all that. I understand that everybody my age and everybody that's don't get this opportunity. It's all the TNC players. They've been there for numerous of years, and it was my first time, and I got chose. And it just goes cool. This just goes to show, like, just stay ready. Your opportunity could come at any time. So, it's a lot of things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to going to Detroit, meeting those fans. It should be a great turnout in Detroit with those fans. I'm looking to play in LA in front of some of my fans. Looking forward to going to Houston and Dallas. So my parents, my grandma, my mama can come see me play on this big platform, and I'm in a position to allow them to meet some famous people and allow them to come on vacation. So yeah, it's a lot of things I'm looking forward to, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, I like that you're sharing the love and man, it's gonna be cool. You're gonna get a chance to rekindle with the your old team captain over there as well, and Lance from the TNC
Yeah,
days that just happened.
yeah.
Have you had the chance to talk to Lance? Are you just gonna be kind of surprised when you show up in Boston this weekend?
No, I haven't talked to him. I ain't talked to him yet, but we'll most definitely link up in Boston for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Man, well, that's amazing. Congrats on the opportunity. Excited to see, kind of you getting out there and having a chance to maximize the opportunity. Looks like you're getting right. Obviously, getting your hair done, and like you said, you're gonna fly first class into Boston. So you'll definitely
Yeah.
be prepared and look good, feel good, play good. So I appreciate you taking the time, and best of luck this weekend.
I appreciate the opportunity, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.